Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the public forum of the group exhibit Hydrogen, Fuel Cells and Batteries. It is now a quite interesting theme that we have up here on the forum. It is about a self-sustaining, self-sufficient power supply, Blue Hamster, the advantages of this system. It will be all about, and we will talk about with the development manager at Mossau Energy GmbH, Helmut Janßen. Here he comes. Oh, be careful. Hello, Mr. Janssen. Be careful. We have high steps here. Indeed. Very good. Okay. Feel free, whenever you like, to ask your questions, because I think it's quite interesting. You will find a brochure of the Blue Hamster right in front of you on the tables and also here on stage. So if you want to have some information, either in English or in German, you can just grab it, and also a business card of Mr. Janssen. Mr. Janssen, I think there are a lot of people in Germany who have installed their photovoltaic installation maybe 20 years ago, and they run out of the funding now, and they still want to use the energy that comes from their rooftop. So you've got the solution for that, have you?
Yes, that's a great challenge for these customers. They did not know what is to do with energy. They can't use it by yourself, only in parts, and it is necessary to store the energy.
They just want to store it because it's their energy, and if they give it back to the grid, you know, you can't get anything from the companies anymore. No real money, so you better store it and use it yourself. So let's talk a little bit about Mossau Energy. Mossau Energy is situated in East Frisia, and your main business is something else, isn't it?
Yes, our main business is safe storing and produce energy. We save energy with LED technique for lighting the buildings. We produce energy with our photovoltaic panels, and now we can save the energy with our Blue Hamster.
So you have the three subjects, which is save, produce and store. We talked about producing with photovoltaic panels, the storing with hydrogen, and what is about save? The LED applications.
Yes. Okay. You can save a lot of money with LED, mainly in work halls or store halls. There's a lot of potential to store not to store energy, to save
some energy. Yes, maybe we could switch to LED someday also, because it's a lot of energy coming down here. Yes. Indeed. Okay, but our topic today is to store the hydrogen, to store the extra energy that is produced on my roof. So it all starts with the solar panels on the roof. They produce the energy at daytime and especially in summer. But what about winter?
Yes, that's the point. We have the Blue Hamster to solve this problem, and the priority for the energy is still first priority goes directly into the house or into the hall to use it direct. Priority 2 is to store the energy in a battery, and all energy is over, it goes into the electrolyzer.
I like the word hamster. You know, a hamster is storing a lot of food, yeah, for the winter time. Also the Blue Hamster is storing the hydrogen for the winter time. But you say first you should store the energy in a battery. Is the battery part of the Blue Hamster?
Yes, of course, because the battery is able to work with higher and lower level from energy consumption, and the battery is able to store the peak energy, the peak consumption for the house or the building.
What kind of battery is it?
It depends on what the customer want to have. It's Bleigel.
Lead acid?
Yes, and it can also be the new technology.
Okay, you could also build in a lithium-ion if someone
Yes.
wants it, but that's more expensive probably. So lead acid is the cheapest one available at the
Yes,
moment. Yeah.
that's correct.
Okay, so for the peak energy, I understand, well, when the sun is shining very much, I take the first energy into the battery. But what can I do when the battery is full?
Then the energy goes into the electrolyzer, and the electrolyzer produces hydrogen to store it as a long-term, in a long-term way.
So you transfer the electricity coming from your photovoltaic panel into hydrogen with the electrolyzer. So you get hydrogen and what else?
Yes, also oxygen, but we did not store the oxygen, we blow it in the air.
Okay, so you only keep the hydrogen. You do that with an electrolyzer. What kind of electrolyzers? There are a lot of talking about different kind of electrolyzers here on the group exhibit.
Yes, it's a relative new technology. It's an AEM, anion exchange membrane technique.
It's based on alkaline, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so why did you choose this kind of electrolyzer? Because it's so new, or what's the reason?
No, that's not the only reason. The reason is it's a relative cheap technology.
Okay, you try to get the whole system as cheap as possible.
Yes.
It will be probably still quite expensive, but as cheap as possible. Okay. So now we've got the hydrogen coming out of the alkaline electrolyzer. But what happens then with the hydrogen? Normally it would blow up into the air and it's very light. It goes up very quick.
Yes, we have to store it in a tank, and we decided to use a 30 bar tank because the electrolyzer has a system pressure of 30 bar, and so we can say we did not use a compressor. 30 bar, and all the hydrogen goes into a tank, and the tank is dimensioned to several volume. The volume is 8 to 20 cubic meters.
Depending on the demands that you have. Yeah?
Yes.
So that is an interesting point. You don't have to compress the hydrogen because it comes out of the electrolyzer already at 30 bar. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's
okay, that's
right.
a very special kind of electrolyzer then. So you save the cost for compressing. But 30 bar, okay, tell me, if I say, well, I have one family house and I want energy, let's say, for 3 months, because 3 months in winter there's almost no sun and I can't feed my system anymore. So 3 months for one family house. How big should be my tank then with 30 bar?
The tank should be 8 to maybe 12 cubic meters, but that is an individual process. We will calculate this.
Okay, you will individually calculate this for every customer who comes to you. So if let's say 10 cubic meter, where shall I put it? In my house, or in my garden, or underground, or where should I put it?
Yes, normally we recommend to put the tank into the garden, underground or on the ground. It depends on the individual sites from the owner.
Okay, yes. And you probably certainly need a building permit for this tank, don't you?
Yes, that's correct. We need a building permit. So far we installed 2 systems, and that was not the problem with the authorities.
Okay. But you also provide the storage system, do you? You count exactly how much he needs, and you also, it is a turnkey thing that you deliver. It's a turnkey system.
Absolutely. It's a closed system within all processes for this storage.
Okay, so now we have the storage 30 bar, let's say underground, maybe 10 cubic meters around. But what do I do with the hydrogen when I need the power again? So how to get the power again from the hydrogen?
Yes, if there's need for energy, the system says, okay, switch on the fuel cell and change the energy from the gas into the electricity.
How do you change it then? Do you have a fuel cell in it, or do you
Yes.
burn it?
No, it's a fuel cell, and with this electrical energy you can restore the battery and feed the system with 365 days with energy.
So you have a fuel cell there. You put the hydrogen, 30 bar hydrogen in there. You need some oxygen. You take from the air probably.
Yes,
and what's the end product then?
That's correct. You need oxygen, and it's with 21% in the air, and it comes out of the air. And the output is only water, as here well known, and electrical energy.
Okay, it's a closed circuit, as you can say. It is, you know, you bring in the electricity, and when you need it, you get it out. But to count it all together, so I think to count, well, you need the electrolyzer. You need even the PV panels on your roof.
Yes.
The electrolyzer second. You need the storage tank. You need the fuel cell. This is quite expensive, isn't it? I couldn't imagine anything more expensive.
That's correct. The problem on this technique is, I think, also well known. It's single production, and these components are relatively expensive, and the whole system, it's about 60,000 euro up to 150,000 euro.
Okay, let's stick to this one example I gave you, this one family household who needs the storage tank for 3 months. How much would they pay then?
About 60,000 euro.
That's the small one, the small size one.
Yes.
60,000 euro. Well, I don't think it is a business case actually, but there are people who want it. Who are your first customers?
Our first customer is the company Klar Folien, and as the name says, this company deals with plastic, with folia, and the folia has not the best. What is the roof?
The best reputation.
Reputation. Thank you. And this company use this point to say, okay, we have understand the problem. We switched off our company off from electrical energy and goes into the renewable energy. The whole company.
They want to improve their CO2 footprint.
Yes.
Okay. So they say, well, we take the newest technology into our process and show that we are very aware of ecological problems.
Yes.
Okay.
Good know.
So these are probably the customers who are interested. I also could imagine that there are people who really love to be self-sufficient. You know, like I don't want my energy anymore from my local provider.
Yes.
I want to produce it myself on my ground. It may cost what it wants. Huh?
Yes, these customers are there, and they are welcome to introduce or to let knowing the Blue Hamster.
But probably you have to come down with prices, and within the next, let's say, 5 to 10 years.
Yes, of course.
What are your targets then?
The target is to reach the half of the price from the level from now. Maybe 30,000 up to 60, 70,000.
Something like that, okay. So I would like to give you the opportunity to ask your question about the Blue Hamster, about the self-sufficient system to store the hydrogen, to store the energy coming from your rooftop for a whole season. If there are any questions around, please raise your hand. I'll be with the microphone right with you. If that's not the case, I would like to point out a little bit about safety. I think, Mr. Janßen, this is also an important thing. No, but not many people want to have hydrogen in their houses. They're afraid of it. They've heard of Hindenburg or something like that and say, well, it could explode. My house could explode. What would you tell them?
Yes, the hydrogen itself is not more dangerous than other thermal gases. The hydrogen, the Blue Hamster, is a very safe system. We only use permanent technical tied materials. It's a formula from the documents and from the safety instructions. Permanently technical tied is the highest level from that, and that means we have no explosive zone without the Blue Hamster.
Okay, so it's the highest tightness you can ever have in industrial standard, and you have some sensors on it.
Yes, the Blue Hamster is a 90 inch rack, and it's like a skyscraper, and the hydrogen goes up. The hydrogen is lighter than air, and the hydrogen itself goes up. We support this because we had only air inlets in the bottom, and we have the exhaust at the top of our cabinet, and therefore it is okay that the hydrogen must come out of this if there is hydrogen leakage.
And it only goes to the top, and it can go through the exhaust. And if there might be a leakage, which we will not hope at all, but if there might be one, the sensor will bring the alarm immediately.
Yes, it's a exhaust has a hydrogen sensor, and this sensor can detect the lowest hydrogen rates, and then the tank is closed and the system is switched down.
So you would say this is almost as safe or even safer than a normal natural gas burner?
Yes. Yes and no, it's not safer, but it's really safe.
Very good. What can you tell us about the durability? How many hours will it work?
So far, our technical data says 30,000 hours, and that means for our system it's about 10 years.
So 10 years you guarantee, yeah?
Oh, I can't say. That's
okay. So if you count it down to cent per kilowatt, how much will be the kilowatt coming from your system?
Yes, it's nowadays round about 60 cents, and it's the double from what we pay for the power.
Okay, so you have to come down to half of the costs, and then you're at it.
Yes.
But for storing your own personally made energy, you have to pay a price up to now. I'm very happy to announce that it's the first system I know, the whole system, which is on the market right now, because the first prototype is on your booth, isn't it? And if I give you 60,000, you will let me.
Yes, of course, that's correct. Last year here in Hannover, we introduced the prototype, and now we are ready to produce, and everyone and Mr. Walter can buy it.
Okay, I'm thinking about it. Well, 60,000, maybe I invest a little bit of the honorar I got here and buy one of these. But I haven't yet photovoltaic panels on my roof, unfortunately.
Okay, that's the first step.
Maybe I start with that one. So whoever is interested to see the Blue Hamster on the booth of Mossau Energy at E71, which is right behind the technical forum, just down that aisle, is invited to follow Mr. Janßen right now. Also, you can supply yourself with a brochure about the Blue Hamster and a business card of Mr. Janßen. I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Janßen, for this interview here on stage, and I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome, Mr. Walter.